There are 3 echinoderms that call the Blazer Reef at Valdosta State University home: a common brittle star, a purple urchin, and a slate pencil urchin. Echinoderms are a group of marine invertebrates. To be classified as an echinoderm, an organism must meet at least 3 criteria. It must have a skeleton of calcium carbonate plates under their skin, have a water vascular system of water-filled canals for movement, feeding, and breathing, and have radial symmetry. Common brittle stars are located all along the coast of the eastern Atlantic. They are mainly found of the sea floor of rocky intertidal beaches and other beaches with coarse sediment. The central disk is usually around 1 inch in diameter. The brittle star, like most starfish, has 5 arms connected to the disk with ball and socket joints. Its skeleton of calcium carbonate plates often overlap but are not fused. On the bottom side of the disk is an opening with 5 sharp teeth that doubles as a mouth and an anus. The brittle star is a suspension feeder. To feed, it sticks 1 or 2 of its arms into the current to collect plankton. It filters through all of the microscopic matter and picks out what it wants to eat and can digest. The remaining arms hold onto rocks to keep the brittle star from being swept away in the current. Brittle stars reproduce by participating in spawning events from May to January. The males and females release their sperm and eggs respectively into the water column. The reproductive material is then carried by the current until sperm randomly fertilize an egg. The main defense utilized by the brittle star is camouflage. As you can tell, the brittle star is often hard to find because it blends in well with the surrounding rocks, and it can fit into tight crevices to stay away from predators. The spines on the brittle star are not poisonous, but they do make the brittle star hard for predators to ingest. The purple sea urchin is found along the west coast of North America from Mexico to Alaska on the sea floor of kelp forests. The tube feet are the things sticking out into the water column from between the spines. They are a part of the water vascular system and are mainly used for breathing and moving. The spines are attached by ball and socket joints, giving them a wide range of motion. The calcium carbonate plates on sea urchins are fused to form a shell, and the body cavity the shell surrounds is called a test. The mouth is at the center of the underside of the urchin, while the anus and the gonads are at the top. Purple urchins are herbivores, which feed on the holdfasts of giant kelps. They scrape away at holdfasts with their 5 teeth, and their populations must be kept in check by sea otters. If the sea otters are hunted to extinction, then there will be little to control the sea urchin populations, and the urchins will destroy the kelp. This can turn a beautifully diverse kelp forest into an urchin barren. They are also preyed upon by sheephead fish, but not the same extent as otters. Purple sea urchins reproduce in spawning events like the brittle star, with the reproductive material released into the current to be fertilized randomly. However, the reproductive cycles of purple urchins depend greatly on water temperature, so global warming and the rising sea surface temperatures can throw off their reproductive cycles. The spines on purple sea urchins are not venomous. However, when the sea urchin is attacked, the spine will break off into the predator and can be extremely hard to remove. Populations of slate pencil urchins are spread out on the west coast of the Atlantic from the United States to Brazil, then stretching across the Atlantic to the east coast all along the coast of Africa. The slate pencil's calcium carbonate plates are fused together to form one protective shell around their test, just like the purple urchin. However, unlike the purple urchin, the pencil urchin's calcium carbonate plates also cover the spines, which are extremely hard and rounded off. This allows the urchin to plow through rocks, pushing them out of its way. Also, unlike the purple urchin, the tube feet are only located on the bottom of the pencil urchin and are used solely for movement. Everyone knows that if you pull off the arm of a starfish, the starfish will grow a new arm. Urchins are similar. If one of their spines comes off, then they can grow a new spine, just like this urchin here. Their spines are also unique because they are where the pencil urchins got their name. The spines were once used for writing utensils and are still made into items like jewelry today. Pencil urchins primarily feed on corals and sponges by tearing off pieces with their 5 sharp teeth. Slate pencil urchins also reproduce by male and female releasing their sperm and eggs into the water column to be fertilized at random during spawning events. Reproductive cycles of pencil urchins are determined by both seasonal and lunar cycles depending on the population's location. The pencil urchin is not poisonous, and the spines are too dull to get stuck in predators, so their main defense is how tough they are.